This is the Leadership Lens, where we say the hard truths and fix the system. School year is over, the data is in, and right now sitting inside your student information system is a list of names you already know, the students who missed 10% or more of school days last year, the ones whose absence you tracked, reported, and worried about. They'll be back in August, and unless something changes between now and the first day of school, the barriers that kept them from showing up last year will still be there when they walk back through the door. Tracking chronic absenteeism is not the same as fixing it. Most districts have the data. Almost none have done a root cause analysis to understand what the data is telling them. In this episode, we build the system that does, and right now is the window you get before August makes the problem urgent again. Chronic absenteeism, missing 10% or more of school days, has more than doubled in most districts since the pandemic and has not recovered. Students chronically absent in third grade are significantly less likely to read proficiently. Students chronically absent in high school are significantly less likely to graduate. Attendance Works research is equally clear on what works. Relationship-based interventions, direct outreach by a trusted adult within the first 3 absences are significantly more effective at reducing chronic absenteeism than punitive or compliance-based responses. A letter does not work. A consequence does not work. A phone call from someone the student trusts, made within 3 absences, focused on the barrier rather than the behavior, does. Here's what most systems miss. Chronic absenteeism is not a behavior problem. It is a signal. Every student who stops showing up is communicating something specific about their relationship with school, about a barrier the system is not addressing. You cannot sanction your way out of a broken relationship, and you cannot fix a structural barrier with a letter that does not acknowledge the barrier exists. So that instructional triangle we've talked about in several episodes, where we have the teacher, the student, and the content, that instructional triangle tells us this matters beyond attendance data. Every absence breaks the interaction at the center for that student. When the student is not in the room, the teacher side and the content side have nothing to work with. The triangle then cannot function. Every chronically absent student is experiencing a full interruption of the instructional interaction, not just a missed day, but a broken learning relationship that compounds across every absence. The root cause is almost never what the referral form says it is. Chronic absenteeism lives at 3 levels simultaneously. At the teacher level, that microscope, the question is relational and immediate. Which students were trending toward chronic absence last year? Has there been a genuine relationship check-in about their experience at school, not about their attendance? At the principal level, that X-ray level, the question is systemic. What are the most common barrier domains in the building, and is there a response system activated for each one? Not a case by case, a system. At the district level, that satellite view, the question is coordination. Is absenteeism data disaggregated by barrier, domain across buildings? Are practical barriers like housing, health, transportation being coordinated with the agencies that have the jurisdiction the school does not? When the satellite cannot see the pattern, every school is solving the same problem alone. That is the lens at 3 tiers. Now, if this is you or something you're currently navigating, we have a micro move, which are small intentional shifts designed to help you reclaim your leadership so you can build a system that holds. The micro move is to run the 5 student deep dive this month. And right now is the only window between when the data closes and when those same students return. Here's how this works. Pull last year's chronic absenteeism data. Identify 5 students with different grade levels and absence patterns. For each, answer 3 questions before August. Question 1. What is the primary barrier domain for this student? Is it practical, relational, academic, or systemic? Question 2. Who has had direct, genuine conversation with this student or their family in the last 30 days? Not about attendance, about their life. If the answer is nobody, that is your first action item. 1 trusted adult, 1 genuine conversation before August. Question 3. What response has been activated and is it matched to the barrier domain? A letter sent to a family navigating housing instability is not a matched response. A referral to a community partner who can address the housing is. If you cannot answer all 3 for each of the 5 students, your system is tracking the symptom and calling it an intervention. The deep dive is a diagnostic. The framework that scales it across every student on your list is the absenteeism root cause framework. The absenteeism root cause framework is 4 barrier domains, and the domain determines the response, not the number of absences, the barrier. Practical barriers: transportation, housing, healthcare, caretaking. Those all require community partnership responses. A letter does not fix a transportation problem. Then we have relational barriers. That includes bullying, broken teacher-student relationships, students who do not feel they belong. Those require relationship-first responses from trusted adults, a specific person making a specific contact with a specific student, not a new initiative. Then we have academic barriers, which are unaddressed learning gaps that make school feel like daily humiliation. This requires an instructional triage because staying home feels less painful than failing in public again, particularly in middle and high school. And finally, systemic barriers, which includes the culture, climate, exclusionary discipline that removes students from the exact behaviors indicating they need more support. This requires school redesign. When a third or more of your chronically absent students share the same demographic profile and school experience, that is a signal about the system, not a coincidence. Policy level responses, not individual case management. The chronic absenteeism root cause map, linked in the description, gives you the diagnostic structure to do this at scale, student by student, domain by domain, response by response. Leader to leader, chronic absenteeism is not a data point. It is a distress signal from your students and families telling you something specific about their relationship with your school. The fact that you have the data means you know which students are sending the signal. The root cause analysis tells you what they're saying, and right now is the only window you have to build a response system before August makes the problem urgent again. Those same students are coming back. The question is whether the system they walk back into has changed or whether it is still sending letters and tracking the numbers and calling it a response. The chronic absenteeism root cause map is linked in the description below. Use it this month. It's micro move time. This is the Leadership Lens. I'm Jay Longino. Let's learn and grow together.